Good morning. We're at Challenger World Headquarters in Albion, Michigan. We're going to be assembling a 3.8 meter receive only prime focus antenna today. You're going to need some basic tools. As you can see, alignment pins, 9/16 half-inch wrench, a couple of 7/16 wrenches, sockets, ratchet, and some Allen wrenches. If you want to save yourself a lot of time, you can also use some battery operated 90-degree impact and screw gun. It'll save you a lot of time and make things go easier for your day. I'll be moving along with this pretty quickly and won't bother you with a lot of talk. As you can see, the packages in the hub or in the hardware kit are all marked, individual areas, hub angles, feed struts, radial beams, outboard skirts. Each bag is marked for purpose. They'll be put in where they're needed. And this antenna we're building today is actually on a motorized mount, but generally you'll be building a Azel mount type of antenna, which is a just a fixed antenna for a specific satellite. First thing up, we're going to be installing the hub angles onto the hub. I won't bore you with installing them, showing you individual parts of that. We'll just move forward. Okay, as you can see, the hub angles are in place now. We'll move on to hanging radial beams. Got to do a little bit of adjustment to the ladder and a couple other things. I'll be back with you in a minute. Just in case, we installed the hub angles. Those are tightened now. And then I'll install the radial beams. I've got some staged on the top of the hub now. After I install each one of the radials, I'll go ahead and tighten those as I move along. Once they're installed, then everything after this point will be left loose, hand tight at best, so that you can finish up this antenna. We'll do a final tighten up at the end of the assembly. Okay, we have all the radials on. It's now time to install the outboard skirts. Again, the radials and the hub angles are all tightened. Leave all the outboard skirt hardware loose. Okay, so again, just in case, the hub angles are tight, the radials are tight. We're going to put on the outboard skirts. Outboard skirts are left loose until we get everything final and we get down to the final tightening sequence. That's how we do outboard skirts. All set for starting to put in panels. Now is when we start using drift pins and so on to get our panel alignment. We need to drop in at least 2 panels to get started, and we're going to move on. So at this stage we have a pin in place, the second hole from the inside, and we're going to go ahead and put a bolt in the first hole. What we do in order to do that is we lift the end of the panel just slightly with another pin to line that up, and then put it through. That one's in place. Go past the one that you just finished. Put that one in. Back and pull your pin. And as you work your way out, all you have to do out here is lift the panel just slightly, and then a hole will line up, and just keep moving on until you get all the way to the outside. Nope, down a little bit. There you go. Should line up now. Okay, so as you can see, I've been moving right along here. The battery went dead on me, and so here we are anyway. I'm getting closer to the end of this process. Looks like three more panels, and I'll have this part of it wrapped up. Okay, just an update now. The panels are all in place. I've got yet to put a little bit of the hardware in. The next step, all the hardware is loose that goes through the panels, and I'll have to put all the nuts and washers on the other side. The outboard skirts bolts will be next, and we'll do those, get those all in place, and then we'll go back and start tightening up everything. Okay, so we're down to the tighten up sequence. What we're going to do is we're going to tighten up the very first bolt nut combination right at the hub, close to the hub as you can get, and we're going to do that one. All the way around, one at a time, doing the first bolt, and only the first bolt. Anyway, and to expedite the process, first bolt all the way around, come out, do the second bolt, do it all the way around, third, and so on. You're going to go all the way out, one row at a time. Once you've gotten to the outside edge, your antenna panels will be in a correct parabola for the antenna to work correctly. This is a great antenna. It works exceptionally well. I've put these in with single feed, multi-beam feed assemblies. I've put these units in with the GOES feed for the high-def satellite. This thing works flawlessly day in and day out. It's a great antenna. Don't miss the opportunity to put one of these in. All right, please note, once I got the first row completed with the hand wrenches, after that, battery operated impact will work just fine. So go ahead and use that. That'll save you a lot of time. All right, as you can see, I've completed all the hardware for the panels to the radial. Those are all tightened and ready to go. Last thing to do is the outboard skirt bolts. Those are on the end of the radials and the outer edge of each one of the panels. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on those. There's nothing real particular about installing those other than sometimes a drift pin is helpful because it helps with the alignment of the 3 panels over the top of each one of the radials. Once you get that lined up, usually the rest of the 3 will fall right into place. And then just keep moving around. You'll find a sequence that works best in the way that the panels fit together. And once you get the hardware in, then you can spin the antenna and tighten them up from the inside. Make sure that all your hardware goes from the outside in, meaning that the nut of the bolt, the head of the bolt, will be on the outside of the antenna. The nut will be on the inside of the antenna. This is real helpful if you run into a situation where you're going to put on a snow cover in a hostile environment, and the snow cover will actually, if you install it with the hardware sticking out, the bolts will actually tear through the snow cover and you'll end up with a ruined piece of equipment. Okay, as you can see, I've started putting on the outboard skirt hardware. I've located the first place for a feed spar bracket. Feed spar brackets, there's an extra package inside the hardware kit that it has marked feed struts. That package will have longer hardware to allow for the extra thickness of the feed spar bracket itself. So you'll need to locate that, locate where you're going to put them. Now in this case, I'm putting in there'll be a multi-satellite Challenger feed. So I'll actually be putting in these brackets. Will be put close to the top center of this reflector. There's 3 radials in between, or 3 beams in between each one of these feed struts at the top. And then the bottom will be the same thing, so there'll be 5 on each side. What that does is that allows for Challenger multi-satellite feed to be put in place. And if you're using a multi-beam from SSE, that unit will require 4 equal spaces all the way around the antenna for the feed struts. Same thing if you're putting in a prime focus feed, just a single feed, you'll have 4 equal spaces. Challenger is the only one that uses the 3 and 5 configuration. Okay, just so you understand a little better what I'm talking about, you can see directly in front of you the very top center of the antenna. You can tell that it's the top center. The spliced joint in the top of the hub you can see clearly in the picture. You'll notice that there's top center panel has no feed spars. One on either side of the top do have feed spars. So there's 3 beams between each top feed spar, and the same thing at the very bottom of the hub. That way you've got 3 at the top, 3 bottom, 5 on each side. That gives you 3 equal positions for the Challenger feed system. Okay, little trick I've learned over the years, might help you in the future. The center plate, that has the need for 2 people to install it. What I've done is I've actually taken and simplified the process. Take the original hardware package, and you'll note that this has got a long all thread stainless steel bolt and a nut and a washer. Now in the extra bag there's an extra nut and a washer, 1/4 20. Take and slip that through, take and put a nut and a washer on the opposite side and tighten those down. Now if you've got a plate that actually has a Challenger logo on it, then you would take and mark on the back side of it. For example, if the Challenger was here across the top, you would mark a little arrow showing you the top. Then you take this is the piece that goes in from the back, and you'll note that that comes down but not fully. So if you dent this in a little bit here, then that'll seat. You can go ahead and drop this, slide this down the center of the antenna, flip it over, put the bolt down through, slide this up through the backside, and you're completed the process. Okay, so now you can see that I've taken my ball peen hammer, I've dented this in slightly. Now if you take this and slip this on the back, it will lay flush and pinch this plate in place properly. So that's a little trick to save you some time. This is a great antenna. It works exceptionally well. I've put these in with single feed, multi-beam feed assemblies. I've put these units in with the GOES feed for the high def satellite. This thing works flawlessly day in and day out. It's a great antenna. Don't miss the opportunity to put one of these in.